The word Nusrat is used usually in the context of help from God or God's help by Muslims in everyday life. Respected people with greater appreciation and knowledge of Arabic has conveyed the true meaning of this word for many others like us to follow. This is the office of Nusrat Trust for Special Children. It was established only 3 years ago, solely dedicated for help to support the very poor physically handicapped children. In a short span of time, Nusrat Trust's contribution to society is truly outstanding and phenomenal. It has reignited a ray of hope in many disabled children. The founder of the Nusrat Trust, Mufti Muhammad Muhiuddin, conceived the idea for establishing Nusrat Trust a few years back when he saw a poor child fighting a lonely losing battle for his existence in the outback interior of Sindh. This left an indelible image on his psyche, and Mufti Sahab then decided to help such disabled children.
I conceived the idea for establishing Nusrat Trust when I had an opportunity to visit the rural Sindh. I am basically a religious scholar, and my aim in life then was establishing mosques and madaris for communities. I once had an opportunity to travel the rural areas of Sindh with respected scholar Janab Khwaja Khan Muhammad Sahab. I observed a child placed under a tree who was physically challenged, with a bowl of water placed beside his head. His parent had just left him under the shade of a tree on the leaf-woven mat to eke out a meager living on a nearby farm. Time and again my mind wandered to this afflicted child, and for several hours I saw him lying stranded and immobile. He was unable to move and speak, and hence was completely handicapped and wholly dependent. I felt much grief and embarrassment that a handicapped child was left alone with no help. No one bothered to look after him, neither help him nor offer a sip of water from the bowl lying beside him. I felt that maybe the society has grown callous and irresponsible, and people, including the afflicted child's very own family, is ignoring their God-given responsibility and also obligated by the society. We seem to have lost all feelings for such disabled and handicapped children. These needy souls require our help to just get by in their daily life. Because of unremitting and grinding poverty, the parents of these children just have to go to work, and sadly, no organization is there, especially in rural areas, to help and care for such children, while the parents are away in the fields to work. There is much that is amiss on the coastal belt of Karachi when compared to other areas. Environmental and water management experts maintain that this coastal belt's water is highly toxic and unfit for human consumption. The water of the Indus River mixes with the untreated industrial waste. It then plunges and mixes with the seawater, passing through different nalas to lead to its complete contamination. Parents of these handicapped children had lost all hope of their recovery, and they thought that they won't be able to see their children in better shape and healthy ever again. And then, as Allah's special mercy, a representative of the Nusrat Trust came over to our village and offered help. Frankly, we thought it too was like other NGOs, and just as a one-time shot may help us to provide only temporary food and shelter. In 2011, our representative of Nusrat Trust visited each and every home of Ready Goat to do a comprehensive survey. Nusrat Trust then promised not only food but medication and treatment for the physically handicapped. The most important factor is the monthly rupees 1000 honorarium per disabled child that helps in providing better food and medication.
पहली बात कि ये जो वजीफा मिलता है वो हमें नहीं, उस मुस्तक बच्चे को ही मिलता है.
Surprisingly, the poor parents who had lost all glimmer of hope for their children once again started taking care of and interest in them. The monthly stipend of rupees 1000 does go a long way in supporting these afflicted children and is a welcome supplement to their own meager financial resources.
You see, these are poorest of the poor who reside in the coastal belt of Karachi. They actually lead a miserable existence due to acute water contamination. All is due to living in acute poverty, drinking and using polluted water, and experiencing a wholly unhygienic atmosphere. And even though death stares them in the face on a daily basis,
I was shocked to learn that there were more than 250 afflicted children in only one village. I sent one of my volunteers to find out firsthand about the ground situation. I had already decided to build a complex for these disadvantaged children. The task to help them is monumental. And with scarce funds, I was time and again stalled. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala renewed my zeal and I forged on ahead. I feel that there is not much time left to build a complex, even though these children need urgent and instant help right now. It is better late than never to take the first few steps. As a first step, we decided to introduce the food help scheme, where the poor parents were unable to help these afflicted children and felt inadequate and pained when they could not provide basic needs for these children. By the grace of Almighty Allah, we have succeeded in introducing a food help scheme, and now more than 200 children get help and support from this one-of-a-kind scheme. We provide for each child rupees 1000 cash monthly as an honorarium for their food, medical and basic needs. And as we receive more funds, we continue to expand our help and support scheme to other areas while investing in their upkeep and aid. We observe there are some children who are physically handicapped and unable to walk on their feet, and who now, grown up, can't be taken out of home by being carried around in their parents' lap. These growing children continue to languish alone, lying on the leaf-woven mat in their homes. Even when a mother is available at home, she has no capacity to move the child around due to increasing age and weight. Nusrat Trust felt that this need is very acute and urgent for rendering some relief to the child and the parent to ease the additional burden of hauling up and transporting the child to get them out of their homes and locality in better and fresher environment. And thus, Nusrat Trust came up with its groundbreaking wheelchair scheme for each deserving disabled child.
We remember when we first embarked on this venture, children were lying neglected and forgotten on the floor, unable to move, in very unhealthy and messy conditions. We are thankful to people who helped us financially and in kind that we were able to take this initiative with your valued support to Nusrat Trust. The ball was set rolling with a survey undertaken by our representative who visited these communities on regular basis, and this mode continues to date. When we get information about such children who need help, then we study the details and then decide to register them and set an honorarium for these children. The children's poverty quotient governs our priority list. Nusrat Trust provides cash support and insists upon the parents for regular physiotherapy for the child's better health and relief. Nusrat Trust boldly stepped forth and took the initiative for welfare of the affected and downtrodden village of Redigoat. The success that it achieved at this village resulted in expanding Nusrat Trust work to other areas as well, where poor and deprived communities reside in the city. Nusrat Trust has reignited that diminishing spark in even those parents of these special children who had almost lost all hope for betterment, believing they might lose them due to inadequate care because of their own debilitating poverty.
Wheelchair enables to take these children outside so they can see the outside world. This helps them to realistically hope and gives courage to intermingle with the society. Now, seated on the wheelchair, they are motivated enough to move and take initiative by themselves. This has greatly helped them build their capacity
At this critical juncture in the lives of the parents with these difficult times, further adding to their woes, the children were decidedly a burden on the poor parents. Nusrat Trust boldly stepped forth and took an initiative and helped improve the living standard of these disabled children.
आजकल
You
बहुत
know the
महंगाई है
inflation
आपको
is so high, especially on items like milk and medicine. My ailing child needs a regular checkup as he suffers from the fits quite frequently, and I have to take him to the hospital every single week.
Nusrat Trust is helping us a lot. We are getting 1,000 rupees stipend per month. Of this amount, we provide our afflicted children juices, milk, and medicines.
मेरा एक
I have two
हजार
suffering children. One of them is disabled with a chronically bad skin disorder. The female child with skin disorder needs a daily massage for her skin, and now we are able to help her, and she feels relief now. I also got a wheelchair from Nusrat Trust, which helps me in taking her out with me.
This monthly stipend is utilized to buy food and medicines and other necessities for these disabled children. The poor parents are now able to realize their dreams for betterment of their children after this monthly stipend from Nusrat Trust.
ये गाड़ी भी दी
It
है
provided us with a wheelchair along with the monthly stipend. We are grateful to them. It has also arranged for massage.
My child is mentally weak and physically handicapped. After we started receiving the monthly stipend and a wheelchair too, he feels better now and is in high spirits and health. He can attend to his basic requirements all by himself.
These children suffer from much varied issues and challenges, which are inexplainable and indefinable.
He is one of the registered children of Nusrat Trust Food Help Scheme. We provide them with a monthly stipend of rupees 1,000. You can well observe their poverty and see how these children live in one crowded room. Their home in such a deprived locality. It is due to your compassionate contribution to Nusrat Trust that we could help and are able to support them. The amount you contribute is used to buy nutritional food and necessary medicines. Here you can clearly discern a sense of relief on the child's face. I pray to Allah Almighty to reward us in life and the life hereafter for our good deeds and sincere intentions.
Since I got registered with Nusrat Trust, I have an overwhelming sense of relief. We regularly and promptly get our monthly stipend on time for our child. He feels better now. He also received a wheelchair. Earlier, as I did not have resources to ferry my child outside the home, surely with this mobility, he experiences a more natural living and real joy.
Nusrat Trust continues to energetically work in full swing to realize its high hopes and ambition for the disadvantaged. They serve with religious zeal and compassion to render relief to them. Nusrat Trust has recently established a center for these disabled children. It is only one of Nusrat Trust's goals. It has bigger aims and objectives still to realize. Here we are with another registered child. Her name is Sana. When we first met her, she was in a deprived situation, quite dirty and in undefinably miserable condition. Today, I feel so relieved to see her in such clean and tidy clothes and comparatively quite healthy. Now we are providing them with monthly rupees 1,000 as stipend. Due to Nusrat Trust's efforts, many disabled children are able to get on their feet and walk and lead a more normal life now. Yet, hundreds await their turn in a long list to get relieved. It has also arranged regular physiotherapy sessions for disabled children in their neighborhood's health centers.
Most of the children were with disabilities of lower limb and upper limb. Usually regular physiotherapy for up to 2 to 3 months is required for better results. Each patient is unique and the treatment is based upon each particular case. The specialist suggests that the physiotherapy treatment as per the specific condition of the child. The success ratio is about 25% along the disabled children that come here for recovery. We can't say that they became normal, though through treatment they are able to be on their own, like being able to walk and eat. The primary reason for their disabilities is water and food shortage before and after birth. These children mostly suffer from mental irregularities and physical irregularities. These children need the most care, more than any other children due to severity of the case.
Nusrat Trust needs regular financial assistance and a chain of volunteers for its organization to serve the deprived community. Nusrat Trust requests those individuals to generously contribute who feel pain and value social responsibility towards these disabled children.
Our society does not feel the desired responsibility towards their disabled children. My motivation is to help tens of thousands of these children so far neglected in our society and community.
It is Allah's proclamation that one who is capable and able-bodied should help the infirm and deprived.
It is the responsibility of all the able-bodied to help them through their compassion and generosity.
Well, when we move around in our society, we see disabled children lying stranded in neighborhoods, lanes, and streets, being forced to beg by brutal mafia-controlled gangs. They are mostly from the poorest of the poor of our society, who have very meager resources to get away from the clutches of these gangs. People walk past with unseeing eyes and intentionally ignore them. Such is the lament of the society that has conveniently forgotten them. Mufti Saab always reminds that God unequivocally promises humanity that when you help the orphans and the disabled, you come very near to me.
For the benefit and welfare of these special children, I have laid out a 5-point agenda. The first point, of those disabled children belonging to poor families, there are some who are partly physically fit, though they may not be able to walk on their own. These children who have the capacity to read and write, we have decided to build schools for them, so they can honorably stand side by side with other members of the society. We shall provide food and shelter for them. We aspire to provide for them a graduate level of education. We have a comprehensive plan for achieving this aim. We have decided to provide them with quality education so that they can earn their living on their own. Our second aim, to provide medical facilities at our hospital for those disabled children whose poor parents spent a huge amount at the time of their birth and have now exhausted all monetary means for their treatment. The third aim, to cater to those disabled children from underserved communities who are deprived of basic necessities. Nusrat Trust will provide them with monthly stipend of ₹1,000 under its food help scheme, so their parents are able to get them nutritional food. Fourth aim, another important issue is of those children who are now 10 to 15 years old and cannot walk on their own. Nusrat Trust shall provide them with wheelchair to help their parents to take them along outside the home. Until now, we have provided hundreds of children with wheelchairs and registered almost 200 children in our food help scheme. We regularly provide them with ₹1,000 per month. Though still thousands of applications are lying with us for registration, we are focused in our aim to outreach thousands of these needy children seeking our assistance. Fifth aim, for educational purpose. We bought 5 acres land from the government at the cost of ₹11 million. On it, we have constructed a pilot project on a temporary basis. This complex will fulfill all requirements of disabled children. The Nusrat Trust complex in Malir will have a primary school, high school, and a hostel for 500 children. It has 28 flats for wardens who work with these special children, a hospital, and 5 residential bungalows for doctors. it shall have a park for the special children. The multi-purpose complex will cater for education, health, welfare, recreation of these special children. Our primary aim remains to arrange all facilities at this particular complex custom built for special children. The pilot project is for initially 80 children at this complex. We intend to soon start building the main complex with your support.
These children affected by poverty and deficiencies are waiting for your help, and God says, I help those who help their fellow men. Besides, it is our major responsibility to help these needy people as one of our primary social responsibilities. Nusrat Trust is an organization that feels its responsibility to help the helpless children. It is diligently working day and night for this noble cause.